From the Seventh Market, I wonder where that is. You'd like to know my favourite place to be in the world. I don't have a favourite place as yet. Some of my favourite cities include San Francisco, big up Chicago. I love that place, even when it's cold. I love New York. I've had some fantastic times in Nairobi, in Byron Bay, in Melbourne. I love standing underneath a waterfall in Nakuru Park in Kenya. Was pretty, like, that was a thrill. And also hanging out with friends and family in, like, the pub, failing miserably at the pub quiz can be fun. I love checking into a fancy hotel from time to time. I guess sometimes my life just, well, actually most of the time my life feels like a film, and it's, you know, it's just going from scene to scene to scene to scene, and maybe it's going so fast I haven't really stopped yet to go, okay, reflect, you've been here, you've been there, then it turns into a musical, and tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So, yeah, many favourites, and I look forward to seeing the Seventh Market, wherever that is. Okay, so, right, next. Look at the iPad. Amanda would like to know, who are some of the young artists starting out who inspire me now? Amanda, if you're an artist, I'd love to hear from you and what you do. There's a lot of people that we've played a lot of music with recently, for example, at the Lake of Stars, and since we've played music with Tinashe and African Boy. That was loads of fun. A lot of the time I really love, when I get off the road, I just love playing music with my friends. You know, for example, last night a friend of mine dropped by the studio, hey, Musa, and we just ended up having a jam when everybody had gone home. So there's so much music out there, and I hear so much Noisettes music often that I don't dedicate as much time as I should do to actively search out new music, because I also like it to just happen naturally and kind of organically. And obviously because, like I said, I'm Wilma, so I'm not really good at going into the new technology, and, you know, I don't... I could do more of that, and I'm sure that world is going to open up to me more. Yeah, I met a fantastic kora player called Jali at a show literally a week and a half ago, before we recorded the Shape of What's to Come session at Real World. And I said to him, what are you doing, like, in 2 days' time? He was like, nothing. I said, do you want to come and play on the album? He was like, fine. And then I got reintroduced to a family friend called Kuda, who's also playing on the Kilimanjaro track. So it's I try and just be in the present as much as possible, because in the studio it's like hit record, then you can listen to it 1,000 times. So I'm a little bit wary of being too much, looking too hard for things, and not having any space to be a bit of a sponge as well to my surroundings. I hope that answers your question, because I could just go on and on and on in metaphors until we get dizzy. Marina, you're back again. Hey, girl. What would be a dream collaboration for the Noisettes? I'd probably have to run this past Dan, but if it's kind of like a dead or alive situation, R.I.P. of course, those are no longer with us. I'd like to see some of those old school, really amazing concert lineups, like the ones they used to do at the Fillmore, where you'd have an act like Odetta, and then, you know, she would be followed by Jimi Hendrix, and then you'd have like a gospel choir, and then like a local fiddle player. We meet so many musicians and we like so many different types of music, but there's a friend of mine called Known who just comes up with some of the most amazing riffs ever. He's a really good friend of Dan and I's. And then there's also loads of incredible folk musicians that we like from around the world. Stella Chuesha, who plays the Imbira, is one. I'd love to work with the Glyndebourne Opera, because I think a lot of the stuff that they produce is amazing. So it's, you know, I'm inspired collaboratively by the way a lot of big opera productions, for example, work, but then also how, you know, the smallest kind of like grassroots groups just get together and have a jam at someone's house, and then suddenly they're on a stage. So yeah, that just I need to think about that a little bit more. But yeah. So, okay, how are we doing? Oh, this is an official question. Okay. The official question has been replaced by Michael's question, because it must have been heaps better. Let's have a look. What are the most important things in my life? Let's see. Family. To be, family, to be healthy, that your family are healthy. To be loved is a wonderful thing as well, if you can experience that at times in your life. Friends, family. Yeah, friends and family is very important. Living the life that I've been so lucky to have been given is very important. Sometimes I live each day like it could be my last, and sometimes I find it hard to get out of bed before like 11 o'clock, because what I'm dreaming about is just feels so real that I'm suddenly like, okay, this is real now. So the important things to me is, I guess, people respecting each other, letting people be how they want to be and who they want to be, as long as that's sort of respectful of other people. I obviously absolutely adore art, but it's also not the be all and end all, you know. I think you can live a really creative life, you know, but you don't have to be you don't have to be consumed by so many you don't have to be consumed by what you do. Obviously, maybe, you know, on stage, definitely there are times when I lose myself. But the most important things definitely are family, you know, friends, using that pumping heart that you've been given inside of you to the best and greatest effect, till you just can't love anymore.